to blood. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero. Traveling to love. Welcome to Paris.
Flight routine activated. Personality synchronization 100%. Good to be back.
Welcome to Paris.
Adjusting angle of
Impossible. Can I return? I have been Hello. I'm overloaded.
Thank you. Is this a non-relevant conversation? Wondering double skill. Clearing the way. Next target. Took a second. Target. Double. I'm on it. Finish them off. Lifting off. Thanks for that. Hey there. Thanks.
Hmm?
Overlord's on Hulu.
What?
Overlord is on Hulu.
Oh.
Probably on the tablet though, without the app on it.
You have to learn. Thank you. routine activated. Someone call for air support. Opening the door. Focus my target. Thanks for that. Took a second. Is this a non-relevant conversation?
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Personality thinking. Hello. My ultimate mission. Adjusting the load.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
I'll be busy soon. Burning them down. Hey there. Cloning module charging. System reboot complete. Hi. My ultimate is charged. Reboot complete.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Is this a new My ultimate is charged. Hey there. 5. Is this a new You can run Adjusting angle of attack. Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt. Clearing the way. Is this another? Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt. Hey there. Boosting up. Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt. Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
Yo yo.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
Hang on, I'm trying to see if I can cancel the animation of my charge so I don't die if I try to run off the map.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
You have to be so precise with that. Really.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Personality duplication complete. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Nothing if you big brain if you manage to pull up. If you manage to do that in a game, like on Elios or something, like jump into the center of the well and then just alt up or halt upwards or something. I don't know, something stupid like that. It'd be fucking hilarious. Fuck. We go again. My brain is too large. I'm not playing this game if somebody else is locked in. I'm trying to play the character. Yo, Momo, come here, check this out.
Synchronization 100%. Good to be back. Hey there.
Look, I'm gonna use my galaxy brain. Come here.
Rendezvous at my position.
Yeah, I'm done to play. Whenever. You just gotta make sure you have me added on this account.
Yo.
Yo, look, watch this. Hold on. I'm trying to get my ult real quick. Using my galaxy brain. Give me some.
Everyone's one.
Alright, no.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
What are you trying to do?
Hang on.
You get the all charge right?
Yeah.
But you don't even need the grenades, honestly. Oh, the grenades are huge, but like...
But look at this.
Twice and then beam, you could kill them.
On this, yeah. You can just primary fire once and then beam and it's fine.
Is that for all 200 HP?
Yeah, any 200 HP target you can just like use one ability. So about to watch this. Now come here. Come over to this spot first. Okay, wait for my flight to come back off a cooldown. You can fly over this object here, then hover down to these bots. Then you kill them, obviously, with your cooldowns. And by the time you kill them, you have flight off cooldown again. So you can get up.
That's the combo.
Yeah. So that way you have your method of getting in and also getting out. So if you wanted to engage in somebody's backline, you would do something like this where you go around first, slowly drift to a position which you find favorable to you, do your whole combos for that period of time,
So
and then
like
you have fly off
hero,
cooldown.
right?
Yes. She can play into any role, basically. She can play brawl, she can play poke, she can play flank, she can do all that. Also, for most of the targets in the game, like Ryan, if I 2 body shot, 1 volley of this, and then beam, it's enough to kill him. It's not considering headshots. To be safer, if I, like... Well, yeah, of course. But if I'm trying to be safer, I would 3-shot him just to be safe, then beam. To guarantee I get that kill. You can also cancel. You can cancel your beam into your ults, even if a character dies to the beam. You can still copy them, as long as you time it right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aren't you like an Echo 1 shot now?
Huh?
Aren't you becoming an Echo 1 shot? You still need to account for it.
Yeah, I made an account. It's not this account, but it's another account I had. I'm not only gonna play that character. I'm still gonna play the rest of my pool, but I want to get really good with this character so that I can give everybody the information to be able to play it off of, like base their play off of. I was showing Josh a lot of the things that Kilro was not doing that he could have done, like the whole cycling the cooldowns thing that I was talking about already. Instead of using it all at once.
I'm a lot more comfortable with the fly, which is nice.
Yeah, I have L1 set to jump, my L3 is set to flight, my R3 and volley is, or R3 is beam, R1 is volley. I call it Semtex, but
I got my
crouch.
activated is L1 and to glide is L3.
I have, like, all of my movement options on my controller are on my left side of my controller, so jump, L1, crouch, L2, aim, or not aim, but move around, analog obviously. Then everything that requires going from, alright, I want to fly, but I also want to go high at the same time, like vertically. Like, I don't want to press X to jump.
I don't press X to jump usually.
A lot of people have it defaulted, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I have it defaulted on X actually, except for Echo and Genji, Hanzo.
Genji, Hanzo, Lucio, Echo, and Tracer I have set for different binds on jump and crouch. Yeah, so with Diva, the biggest HP with armor and whatnot, it's, I think, 3 body shots, then volley, and then beam is enough to demec her. But that's if you hit all of the beam. Yeah. But if you headshot her at all, it's easier.
I don't think she's like, I don't know, like she's strong, but I don't think she's like OP, dude. I don't know. I think
she has really good pressure. She's like a flying Genji, Doomfist, Pharah / Reaper. Like, if you take all those characters at once. Because, like, assume I had a Rhine with me, right? And you're facing off against another Rhine against you. Like, say, hang on, let me switch this character over here to Rhine. I'm gonna kind of comment, give me a second. Push your buddy to Genji so you can turn to it. The thing here I can turn to Genji, but oh no! I missed the dash. I hit the wall.
Dude, I don't know why I'm practicing this hero. I'm never gonna be a player. It's like I'm a tank player.
I play tanks as well.
He was
like,
doing alright. I mean,
he's doing okay, yeah. I wanted him to do more optimal stuff, so I'm trying to get him to join up with me so they can do better on the character. He's like, better how? Sarcastically, like he's already a god. But I'm trying to get him to, like, actually manage his cooldowns, actually know what to do per each one. Like, each of your cooldowns should be a kill with this character. Like, if I press fly, I'm gonna be focusing on just using my primary fire as much as possible. And then once I don't have fly anymore, I try to use hover and tandem with my ability 2 and 3 so that I can get 2 kills off of that. Like, unless I'm fighting a tank, I can kill 3 squishies for 3 abilities, or kill a tank with 2 abilities. Like, say I'm waiting for an engage on Hollywood and I'm already set up somewhere in the backline. Like, switch this Genji to Rhine with me, for me. Okay, so let's say that Ryan is walking into the choke on Hollywood, and I'm behind. If I just slowly hover, stick him a couple times, and then do this, I can then leave back to my team with full fly and a hover.
You still have time for full fly.
Yeah. Or a more a not as committed thing is if, like, say they have an honor or something that's lingering behind them, and I'm still on the flank already. I can just, instead of me doing all this fucking shit, like I use all my abilities like Killro does, I can just put like one ability into that character and then immediately try to see maybe I can burst down another target with at least half of my beam and then cancel it into ulti, so that now they're down one and I have pressure on another character before I have no cooldowns like a Doomfist would. Like if I use my Rocket Punch, my Seismic Slam, Uppercut, and then reset with ults, that's basically what I'd be trying to do with Echo.
Yeah, she comes back to life.
Yeah, she comes back at full HP and she also comes back at full cooldowns. It's like a recall on roids.
I don't know, that's kind of real.
Yeah, I've been using it, like, whenever I have my ult, which is, like, stupid easy to get if you actually pay attention to what you should be doing. Like, if I'm in 1v1 with somebody, I'll wait till I'm absolutely 1 HP and then try to time it so that I get the intangibility right at that moment. And then I basically have 548 HP, at least, if I'm, like, copied a Tracer or something.
Because you can still recall on the fucking thing, too.
Yeah, I can recall a Tracer, get 149 more HP.
That's insane. I think in the right hand she's stupid. Like,
As long as you have a big brain.
I mean, I was doing pretty good with her yesterday in pugs, but you know, they're just pugs, and I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be like an insane echo or anything. Especially because I don't play DPS at all. So. But she's super fun.
Yeah, like, basically I wrote in a document that I posted on the server that, like, simply getting into a position first, ideally, like, and waiting for your fly to come off cooldown, if you're going to be aggressive during a transition phase for the enemy, and then from there you would engage accordingly, like, stick somebody then leave. Like, you just swoop in and out, basically.
Do a drive-by.
Yeah. Like, I killed 2 people and I still have my fly, 3 people.
And then it's like once you do that, you still have it on like a 2-second cooldown and it's done.
Yeah.
And you will fly again.
Like, watch, if I kill this bot with my abilities, item use fly, hang on. Let me do that again. So, if I kill 2 bots with the abilities, and then I use fly, I'll guarantee that by the time my fly ends, obviously Semtex is a lower cooldown, so I'll have that off cooldown first, then I have beam off cooldown by the time I land finally, and then I have fly again. Like, playing around his cooldowns, like, if you watch the replays, I'm not sure if you have them, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, the only thing that I feel is gonna make a Echo player actually good is if, obviously, they can hit shit, and how they manage their cooldowns. Like, if they don't do it optimally, it's gonna just be a potato for them. Because, like, you see when Killro was playing, he had, alright, I see this enemy, I'm just gonna, like, there's 6 people standing there, he just throws a Semtex at max distance. Maybe he gets a little bit of damage, or maybe he gets a damage boosted kill, because damage boost does a lot with this. Or maybe he'll try to beam somebody and hope at a distance. And then he ended up getting 2 kills on, like, a Mercy and an Echo that happened to be half HP when he went in for it, but, like, he's not actually setting it up with the combos or setting it up in an optimal way to where he's not at a disadvantage now, because he's always using fly to engage, like, into the team, and then he doesn't have any answer to get out.
So you would try to get to like the position where you could just drop in their back line and then
or he's sitting like this where he's trying to play like a Pharah, and only like a Pharah, so where he's poking at a like a massive distance and doing pretty much nothing. with all the bursts she has, so he's not actually playing the character for the character. Like if that Ryan again is in the choke here, hang on. Or even if this Sigma was the Ryan, so they're going to the choke and you're my Ryan. And I'm facing the enemy. He's trying to do this in the back while using fly, and then he doesn't have it, and then he's landing here with no cooldowns whatsoever and just poking shields instead of potentially getting instead of potentially getting 3 kills with each one of the abilities. Where he could constantly keep up his APM if he actually did the combos, and then also use his fly in a way to where you're trying to get your other cooldowns to reset. Like, playing aggressive with fly is okay if you're trying to like rush down somebody on high ground or something that's alone, but typically I'm not going for like a Pharah kill or an Echo kill or a Mercy that happens to be flying around kill. I'm trying to like focus down targets that I can with the burst that I have consistently. Like, if I'm going to go after a Pharah, I need to know if I have beam available. I need to know if I poke a couple times that I'm going to guarantee that I get that beam charge. Stuff like that. I don't want to throw a volley of stickies at a fucking Pharah because I'm going to miss. Like,
would you like save it more for like tanks?
Yeah, I would always use the either slow moving characters that aren't aware of you or tanks. Yeah, because it's like super easy to get a collateral bunch of ult charge or just actually a kill if people stick close enough together. Like if they're playing a brawl comp with the Ryan, if I stick the Ryan and somebody happens to be right up against him, I can potentially get both of those characters low enough with the burst, which instead of getting a 125 burst towards the entire team, giving us that 125 advantage, I have a now 250 advantage over 2 characters, and we can push harder than we usually would if I target the tanks as opposed to one individual squishy. Because if I commit to a 125 stick in general and don't have a specific target and I'm just spraying, I'm doing less damage than I would with focus fire on a target. So it's more optimal to go for those slower targets or the tanks to get a bigger advantage over a specific target so your team can focus it down. Because split damage doesn't make it any easier for your team to focus down a target that's only chipped a little bit as opposed to 125 on a single target.
So that's a lot to think about.
Every single instance of damage, I've watched DPS don't actually think about it. They don't think about where they are. They don't think about how they should be using things. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna use all my cooldowns, and then I'm sitting here hoping for the best until my cooldowns come off again. And then people wonder how they can't play tank as well. Like, DPS is much more forgiving as far as cooldowns are concerned, but still, it's like, why not consider how to optimize every single thing you do as opposed to just doing everything without thinking?
I don't like, I love the character, like, she's super fun to play, and like, I love her design. I don't think I'll ever like be like into something like that, you know what I mean? Like, definitely not for the team, and definitely not like for. But Kiro definitely, he seems like he's gonna be the player for, so maybe he should definitely talk to him about it.
And once he figures out his stuff, because like a lot of the stuff he was getting was coincidence, and then obviously the combination of doing all of your kit at once will kill a specific character. Like, you can focus down somebody with all of your kit and kill it. It's not that hard, but using all of it for one character and then losing a fight because you couldn't actually contribute after that for 2 seconds of a team fight. 2 seconds is a massive period of time. So being useless in the middle of a team fight, other than like, oh, okay, I can poke their shields for 50 damage, you could do a lot more and just sway the entirety of a team fight by yourself if you optimize every single thing about it. Like, there I killed the target, I have 5 seconds on that cooldown. I now have 2 seconds on my first cooldown. I now have stickies again. I'm using fly. I now have 5 seconds on cooldown. I can come and still use hover and poke. Now I have my second ability off cooldown. I have laser. I just killed this target. I now have stickies. I just killed that target. I have fly. My cooldowns are now both to 3 seconds for second, third ability. Look at that. And like nobody's gonna figure that out just casually playing it without thinking. So that's why I ended up writing the document and trying to get Kyoru to look at it. I stole that kill. Yoink. Like when I was talking, I know. And I really didn't want to say anything, just so that he could have fun. But I'm going to be a little bit more blunt when he comes and joins me.
I think he needs that though.
Yeah, cause I'm gonna say he's. I don't want to use the word okay because I feel like that's bad, but I'm probably gonna have to say it just so he gets an idea. Huh?
You mean like he's an average player, or are you talking about his Echo?
No, I'm gonna say the way he's playing Echo is okay, but he could be doing better things. Not you're all right, you're okay, you're good, yeah. It's not like that. I feel like if I say okay, somebody's gonna misinterpret it.
I mean, it makes sense because he was hard talking yesterday, so obviously
Yeah.
it's not fault.
Oh, look at this. Let's say, let me give you some scenarios. Like, say you're playing Winston, and we're playing a dive comp. If I'm playing Echo amongst you, and I see you're trying to dive a specific target, obviously, if we're focusing something with dive, I wonder what ability I could use. There's nothing that will survive getting healed through a dive with the Echo beam on them. Or like say, even then I can like just sticky the fucking Baptiste right as I'm about to kill Immortality. Like I could 2-tap the Immortality and then sticky him, and then shoot once more at the Immortality and then kill him because of the Semtex delay.
It still stays there. That's true.
And if he's sitting under it at half HP and I 2-tap the Immortality, I can just beam the Immortality, then immediately switch to him and kill him before he can react.
Dude, imagine like it stayed, like say you were at a target that's half HP and then you go to the next one and it just stays there.
It stays full beam. That'd be fucking gross. It's gross. That's disgusting, yeah. How easy is this character to be?
I mean, I don't see why you would never not have an Echo on your team though, if that was the case.
Another comp that she plays well into is the double shield comp with Orisa Sigma. So, obviously, if you halt people together, you can throw a volley of stickies and then halt them at the same time. Like, as you see the halt go in, stick in that general direction, and when that halt detonates, you'll have everybody at the time that the windup is finished for the bomb, so you get maximum value out of it. As opposed to just like, oh, I'm gonna throw a halt and then respond once the halt is activated with stickies, because people can still separate before it actually detonates. Also, Flux obviously puts everybody at relatively half HP, so anybody caught in Flux is a beam target. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I didn't even think about that. It does leave them at half HP.
Yeah, and then if you're playing Orisa Sigma so much that the enemy ends up mirroring you, you get Orisa, so you get free superchargers for your entire team. You have a third shield. You have a second halt. You have Fortify for yourself, and the same projectile manner of playing. So Sigma, you get a second shield again. You get a second kinetic. You get a second rock, and you get a second flux.
Yeah, kinetics that's gonna be huge.
Huh?
Thing again, like flux toward Echo, it's gonna be crazy because you'll have 2 fluxes.
Yeah, just like pick them up with first Sigma, and then when they're in the air, you ult the enemy Sigma that's in the air, and then flux them again.
Yeah, that's some shit. I mean, that's kind of overkill though. I don't think you need all of that.
I would do it for the memes, dude.
For the Reddit clips.
Like I've had the biggest brain in the past day and a half of me playing this character. Like I saw enemy Sigma was ulting, so I was just like, all right, let me copy Sigma, rock him, and then get my ult off. So he can't finish his ult.
Him and then rocked him out of his ult?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That's
I dodged the Roadhog hook, and then I hooked him instead, and then immediately got my ult off of him and ulted him, and then killed his team. Like the character, I'm gonna go into the spawn room so I can see real quick. Like the worst characters you can copy right now is
I would imagine Zarya
Widow.
would be bad, right?
Zarya can be bad. She needs a bit of charge to get there, but like if you can get your charge quickly, like say you randomly ult an enemy Zarya, and then your team is already engaging, and you get that bubble charge quick enough, you can delete people. Like even if you give it a late grav, and you just wait it out, as long as you don't die and you fire that grav at the last second, you have a grav that continues to persist, and then you can fire it with all of your refresh cooldowns. You can fire your own volley of Semtex into there, and then you get, like I have a play from yesterday where I copied an enemy Zarya and barely got my ult because the Roadhog hooked me and killed me just as I fired the grav. So I flew backwards and fired a volley of Semtex into the grav where it was a Roadhog Zarya and a Zen. And all of them took that splash damage, and then I beamed down the Zen and then the Hog, and then they are my allied Sigma Flux for no reason after I killed the people. Genji is good, Junkrat's good, Kree is okay, you can still get shut down. Like if you get shut down at the ult, it's still really bad because you don't want to get shut down, because you get so much value off of it, but it's not the end of the world, because even if you get shut down in your ults, you just like, alright, I'm fine, back to full HP. Hanzo's okay. I would rather not copy Hanzo, because I want to get like the most mobile characters that you can copy and get their ult off of. Like if you can get Junkrat, you can randomly jump in, conk mine, and then you have Tyre because you can conk mine away again. And you'll be safe back in your team after committing to that, as opposed to, alright, I'm trying to copy Hanzo, I need to get an angle, and if I get that angle, I'm at a risk because I'm trying to play a sniper in their backline just to get my ulti, and then I have to try to angle my ulti in a favorable position. Like it's not going to work out.
Yeah, sure.
If you copy Tracer, you can get there, you can get your bombs, you can get out, you can recall, you can do all that. You have everything going for you on Tracer. Widow, same thing with Hanzo. Can't really get those angles. Doomfist can go in and then get out, as it usually does. So, playing how a Doomfist would, you can get in, get your ult, reset. It's basically a free reset again. Like you have 3 resets if you play Doomfist as Echo. Like you refresh with Duplicate, and you're full HP on Doom. Then you commit with Doom's abilities. You get instant ult. You Meteor Strike. You wait a second. You fall down with the Meteor Strike. You have all your cooldowns again. Go in, get Meteor Strike again. Then if you die at some point in time anywhere in the midst of that, you have just a regular Echo again. You have all your cooldowns.
That's crazy. And Doofus can do the one shots too. And his ult's super strong if you just have multiple.
Yeah. Bastion is okay, like because of the high pressure he has on his own.
Yeah.
And the fact that most of the time you're going to end up zoning out the enemy, but I guess like Bastion's not too bad. Like if you break shields and you manage to get enough tickle damage to where you get tank, you can fully commit into the enemy team, not giving a shit and just running at super close range, and just like die in there, then ult away, or not ult away, fly away. Ashe is good for Bob if you can get your poke in. That's about it. Like she's the only good sniper to copy. Pharah is good because Kamikaze Barrage.
You got a Joshua? Let me find out.
Mei is less than ideal. Like it's very situational. Like playing Temple of Anubis and I copy a Mei, maybe, but I want to do stuff with my ults, and Blizzard takes too long to get multiples up.
What for me?
The supports are okay. Like Moira has the best chance of doing the most if you copy a Moira, like by accident.
Yeah.
Zenyatta not so much. You can commit to a trans, but there's like you have to sit there and try to poke shields, get discords, and then hope you get enough ult charge. Lucio is alright. You can randomly speed your team in. If like you amp once on your team that's in the middle of a fight, and you can speed in after that, but you don't have amp speed.
And you also down a DPS.
Yeah. What do you mean? Reddit Lucio is a DPS.
Well, if you're good at Lucio.
Brig is actually a decent character to copy. Is in the supports, like Mora and Brig both are. I had the biggest brain and rezzed my Rhine so my team can sustain a fight, and then like suicided into the enemy team so I can get back to Echo.
Dude,
Like-
when I was playing with my friend Kid yesterday, and he was using it, and the Zarya had grabbed and he was echoed as a Zen, and he got his trans off, and he was able to save the whole team. That was crazy.
Like there's a lot of situations in which you can be like Galaxian brain. Like yeah, I saved my team from mines copying a Lucio, and then I rezzed my Reinhardt obviously as Mercy. I never did anything with Zen, but Brig, armor,
Meant to copy Zen. It was
Yeah.
a mistake.
Baptiste is alright. You can still linger the Ant Matrix and Immortality afterwards, so it's like the end, or the very beginning of a fight, you copy Baptiste and then use Matrix for as long as possible, and then try to see if you can get another one to linger afterwards. But it's too situational. Ana, you can anti-nade the enemy team from behind the enemy team. Like you can just fly all the way to the fucking stratosphere and then anti-nade from the heavens.
That's a team fight win right there.
Or if you like, if you're accurate as Ana, like if you have playtime on Ana, you can just sleep the enemy Rhine, so your Rhine has free shatter.
Like, you know, I love that.
Fucking hilarious. The tanks, Zarya is the least useful. Ball can get mine super fast. It's like ridiculously easy. Like you can just like, you can copy a ball in mid-air and then have free pile driver from mid-air without using any other cooldowns. Winston is the second least. You get primal rage, and unless you're good at juggling, it's not much. Sigma, obviously, is really nice with the flex. Having a second stun, having a second shield, having a second all that, like. Roadhog can get 2 ults. You can get 2 hooks. And you can sustain yourself. Yeah.
I've seen everybody use Roadhog.
Like randomly like fly behind, hook somebody, one shot them, and then like the ideal flow is I go in from a flank angle on Echo, I kill a support with like maybe 1 or 2 abilities. Ideally I only want to use 1. Well, I still have fly available to me, then switch to another target and maybe laser that one a little bit. If I can secure the kill, I will go for it. But the moment I see that I'm being turned on after I kill the first target, most likely I won't get the full laser off, but if I can, I'll get 2 kills, then ult the hog. And then I get a free hook and a free kill if I kill a squishy. And then from there, it's just you full team wipe by yourself. Reinhardt is another good one. It's better to like try to copy from a distance than fire strike, and then charge and cut the charge short so that you nick people, and then shatter from there so you have a cross angle on your team. Orisa is really good. Like Orisa, Sigma, going in order: Sigma, Diva, Orisa, Rhine, Roadhog, Ball, then Winston
You think
Zarya.
Sigma's the best to copy?
Yeah, because he can. It's like stupid easy how like much splash damage you can do to get your ult. You don't have to actually like pinpoint precise hit a target. Like you have to track somebody for a period of time with Diva. You have to track somebody with a period of time with Orisa. You have to get close enough for Rhine. You have to get charged for Zarya, yeah, and then like Sigma already has decent damage on his primary fire.
A lot of fucking damage.
Yeah, and then the splash of it as well, also doing collateral, is just instant ult as long as you're at a good angle. As opposed to like you try to Roadhog, you have to take a second to get in there and do something. You have to be at a certain range. Like Sigma has that medium range advantage over pretty much all the tanks. Unless you're like super accurate with alternate fires for Roadhog. Yeah, all of the tanks take a certain time to copy and have certain requirements. Oh, then get your ult again?
It only takes 3.
Don't shoot them. Wait. Oh,
It ended before.
that's sadness. You killed him with the impact. Yes, there's like 5. They used to do more. They used to do like 15 and then 30 for detonate, so you could kill a squishy.
Like one shot, right?
Yeah. Like if you full sticky volley somebody, they die. And there's no chance for you to heal them.
That's okay. I'm glad they changed that. It's kind of stupid.
Well, yeah, but now you can just do the combo just, and then they either get healed from the initial shot or they die. I'm gonna kill that bot. Give me a second. Okay.
That's a crazy combo. If you have echo.
You would try to pick out the bulkiest target first so that everything else dies much faster so you can get the full duration. Like, look how long this beam lasts. If I do it right now, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds.
You can cancel it out too.
Yeah. You can cancel it by pressing the button again or pressing your ult.
Yeah, I cancel it usually with the button.
You can animation cancel primary fire into stickies. I'm not sure. I haven't timed the difference between 3 shots as opposed to this and then doing that. Like, which is more damage? Or not more damage, but more damage depending on the amount of time. Like, which is a faster time to kill.
Can you animation cancel into her laser? Like her primary?
Yeah. Like if you press it and then press beam at the exact same time, but obviously press R2 first. So if I press it...
Turn into your own triple. Bro, imagine turning into the enemy Sigma and then eating the grab and then flux up.
I'm gonna copy a diva and do that at some point in time.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna pressure her initially so that she has no bubbles on base echo and then duplicate. Wait. Why would they be running Diva Zarya?
Probably won't.
I just thought about that. I was like, hold on. Something does not quite add up.
I don't know, you seen the CGL game.
I've seen even your team, like your team in general. Like, I watch them and they're like, "Oh right, this isn't working. Let's go fucking and mirror them on ball hog." I'm like, no, don't do that. Stop it.
Sometimes on the team I'd be like questioning shit. I think it sucks that like, if you list them, they don't fall after you transform. That sucks.
Imagine if it was still pre-patched. I try to get the Sigma ult again. What?
Like it used to be able to slam them after?
Yeah, even if you died or got stunned or regardless, you'd still slam. As long as you cast it initially. You have your own. Okay, copy the Sigma. I didn't think you would do enough damage to them.
Oh, because I was shooting them to get the ult.
Okay, well, just reset them all to full HP.
Her beam is so fucking good when they're at half HP.
Yeah. Shields, in general, like, if... Like, it sucks when people turn towards you with a shield, or activate a Zarya bubble when you're beaming somebody, because that's the only way really to save somebody. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I have my ult. And those bots are full HP now.
I gotta get my ult from somebody else. You got it?
And now we do, yeah.
This character is super fun. You want to try on some quick play or?
Yeah, but come here real quick. I want to see what visuals look like for her, because I never got to test this with somebody else. What you do is cast the initial bit of fly, but immediately as you're doing the, like as quickly as possible. Like if you press fly and then swivel around so that you're against the ground with the L3, but aim up toward this guy at the same time.
Wait, what? You want me to?
I want you to fly into the ground basically, but yeah. And then as you're casting it, flip upwards at the same time during the burst of speed. I try to flick so that you're aiming up as quickly as possible. I could have sworn like during the initial cast I saw somebody lay their body flat while doing that. And I don't know how.
What? Maybe my senses are not enough? I don't know.
Maybe if I do it like facing upwards already and then press L3 and backwards and down.
Like this? Cause you kind of did look like you were flat a little bit. Do it again, do it again. Yeah, you're laying down. What the fuck is that?
Do it again.
What did you just do?
I pressed flight without using my R3. I just aimed at this guy and then pressed flight while down at the same time toward the ground.
Did it do it?
You gotta press into the ground. Don't move anywhere else. You didn't hold it, yeah.
I'm not doing it right, but you definitely did lay down. However you did that, you were laying straight.
Like when I cast fly, I'm pressing backwards. Like if I was going backwards, obviously. But if I cast fly at the same time, it makes it so that I go down instead, because I'm doing the opposite of where I'm aiming. Oops, I didn't hold the direction that time.
Alright, let's see. You do it? I do it?
It looks silly. I saw it. Like you just juke a widow headshot like that.
Don't do some shit.
Do it again. I want to see. I'm gonna go to widow and then see if I can time it to where I would potentially miss if you're an enemy. Well, you went into the sky. I would hit you in the leg.
Oh, did I go into this?
Yeah. It's just it like slightly elevate, but I can't hit your head at that point.
That's like why would you ever do that on that goal?
I would do it with the big brain. As long as I know it's a thing, I would do it. Because I still have the full duration of fly anyway, and then I can just raise up. During fly, Kiro doesn't know this yet, but you go faster without holding multiple directions. So you can't move in diagonals faster than you would in a single direction. Like if I wanted to move in a straight line, I would hold only forward. And it takes way less time to do that than it would if I was trying to hold at a slanted angle. Like check out the difference if turn back to Echo, yeah. And then press jump and flight at the same time so it goes straight up. And then just hold up. Or hold jump, I mean. Yeah. And then try to do the same thing but fly forward and up at the same time and then see how long it takes you to hit the ceiling as opposed to that.
So if you just cast it and then don't touch anything, you go faster?
Well yeah, as long as you're holding only one direction at any given time. So move to the right and move to the left. And there's a transition of acceleration. So you'll slow down immensely if you change direction from one direction you're already moving. And then try to move the opposite direction. So like watch, if I fly up here and then I try to go down, then to the right, then down to the right, there's a period of time if I do it too quickly where I have to wait before it actually like starts moving in the direction I want. Like I was trying to change direction while also placing to the right, opposite left, then down, opposite left, then down, opposite right. It's a very subtle thing, but it helps when trying to think about movement.
I could've got that.
Technically, you still can. Obviously, she's another character that can pre-fire into doors, and you can do the combo at a distance of primary fire Semtex, and that'll kill something. So if it's a squishy that happens to walk through like a Temple of Anubis gate, and you just happen to do this, then they just die, and then whoever's standing at like right up against them at the same time dies. People aren't going to be accustomed to that yet either, so like if you hear a Junkrat, you're not going to come up there. But it's less likely for you to respond to not being able to see the Echo, who can just fly up quickly into the spawn door. Like I've done it on Temple of Anubis where they have the little boat thing to the right of their spawn, and I just sit there at a side angle and then throw Semtex.
But she's super good at spamming like tight toes and shit.
Mm-hmm. On Temple of Anubis, you know, the left room where it has those little windows, you can sit up there. And then you can Semtex whoever you want. Ideally, I would for target the tank and beam him down before he can respawn. Like he has to angle his shield upwards to like prevent me from beaming him. And I still have my cooldown, so I can just press back and fly at the same time. Oh no!
You wanna try out some quick play?
Yep. I tried to join you, but it said an error occurred. Like, did you get my invite?
No, I didn't. Let me back on and invite you.
Yeah, we'll restart my game in the meantime.